Hello to everyone, wherever you are, whatever time of day it is, whenever you receive this. Very early this morning, in the wee hours, 2 a.m. time frame, I was awoken from a dream that just shook me to the core a little bit. You know those dreams where you wake up and your body is tense and you know that what you felt was significant. And in this dream, I was being forced to do things, or people were telling me I was going to be forced to do things that I didn't want to do. And in that moment, this anger rose up inside me in the dream, and I threw my hands up in the air and I said, well, I guess I'm going to have to emancipate myself from this system that thinks they own me and that when they truly don't. And I was frustrated because with everything else I have to do with what's going on in the world right now I have this to add to my list. And I awoke shortly thereafter, after getting a few messages in the dream, and I laid awake for a few hours, just mulling this dream over, asking for some meanings and some answers. And I kept coming back to this concept of having to emancipate my soul. And, you know, when we look at emancipation and the Emancipation Proclamation that was enacted by Abraham Lincoln, it was all about proclaiming freedom, you know, that all souls, all human beings should be free. And, you know, when you look on the internet now, there's other meanings there. It's interesting. There's included in the definition, emancipation from controlling parents, which, you know, there may be some validity to that, but I think there's also some other things going on with that. But it had me thinking a lot about everything that we're facing in the world right now and the struggles that we're all trying to navigate, and this concept of who and how are we aligning our soul? How are we aligning it to our own highest intentions and vibrations and frequency? You know, we think about aligning ourselves with countries or ideas, but maybe we need to start looking a little bit broader. You know, there's this concept of looking at our free will, and free will to me is very, very important. It's a universal law. It's a law that cannot be broken. And, you know, over the last hundreds, millions of years, there have been nefarious forces that have found ways to coerce and manipulate and use these very sneaky subconscious tactics to get us to utilize our free will to do things that we don't want to do. And you know, many of us are in this boat right now of doing things that we don't really want to do, right? And so the question is, why are we doing that? And how come we aren't finding that inner strength to really exercise this universal law, a law that is above all laws? You know, it's above the physical law. And I've been contemplating, you know, this quote that I had read by Ra in The Law of One, and I'm not going to get it right in this moment because I'm out in the woods and I didn't bring it with me. I wasn't planning to talk about it. But the concept that we are only governed by physical laws when our intentions are held in the physical realm. And I've been thinking about this a lot the last 2 weeks of how do we move ourselves into these higher realms so that we are governed by the higher laws, right? The law of creation, the law of free will. Because those laws don't seem to be honored right now, and I'm struggling with that. So, you know, back to this dream, and the message that I received early this morning was that we each need to claim our freedom. We are free. We are already free. It's already happened. But we each need to claim it. We need to emancipate our souls from all of this hidden, invisible coercion, subjugation that has been going on. And so sitting with that, I wanted to start writing immediately, and I was told no, that I had to sit with that for a while, go back to sleep, homeschool my kids, and do all that. But the words started coming in, later in the morning, and what has been drafted is a template for the Soul Emancipation Proclamation. And you'll see me read it. I've done it as a separate video because I needed to do it true for myself first. And this is a template that you can use. You can use it verbatim. If the words align with you, you can insert your name and proclaim it out loud for all the universe to know. Or you can adjust it. If you want to use different names, different language, you want to adjust it a little bit for whatever resonates with you, then please go ahead and do that. This is not something that is hard and fast, that it has to be exactly the way it is, but these are the words that I was given this morning, keeping in mind that it is your free will to choose if and how you want to do this. And there's a couple key components of it. So the first portion is really about proclaiming your sovereignty, your freedom as a soul to the universe, with God as your witness. And if you want to use creator or another language, that's up to you. I'm just noticing it's been completely cloudy all day and the sun has just come out, so it's quite nice. And then the second part is about pulling back all of your power, all of the will that has been taken from you through manipulative, coercive, unhanded techniques, this lifetime and other lifetimes, and to pull that back so that that power, that energy that may have been taken or may have been inadvertently manipulated can no longer be. And to let all of the beings in the universe know that you have proclaimed this, which means they must now honor it. It must be upheld in all space and time. And then the proclamation goes into aligning yourself, pledging allegiance to the Creator, Universal Oneness, God, whatever term, name you wish to use, and remembering the sacred duty and honor that we have as human beings to be here upon the earth at this time, that we really came down here to bring love, to experience love, to anchor love, and to hold energy on this planet of creation, to be able to stand, to stand within, beside, in the kingdom of God, Creator, Universal Oneness, and be co-creators with Him. So pledging that commitment to fulfilling that mission that you came here to do. And it ends with a phrase that some may see as somewhat cryptic, in that it says, "As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death into the everlasting light of God's kingdom." When we talk about the valley of the shadow of death, this doesn't mean that we are dying. It doesn't mean that we are coming to impending doom, but it means as I walk through the darkness of the world. And that particular phrase has been coming up again and again and again in the last year. And it's about seeing the darkness as two mountains on either side of you, and walking in between those mountains into the sunlight, being guided by the sunlight. And even though that darkness is there, you are pulling in that sun. You are anchoring that sun into the valley so that it can spread through, under, and over those mountains. And that's what we, as human beings, have come here to do. So this is a powerful proclamation, and there's a sense of urgency with this. I needed to get this out today, and hopefully it will upload. It's been taking about 30 hours to upload these 10-minute videos, but hopefully you receive it, because I hear that there is some value in as many of us as possible making our own proclamations and claiming our sovereignty as we head into the end of this year, as we are focused in 2020, and doing so with this true sense of freedom, of light, and of love in our hearts, and completely aligned in knowing the laws that govern us as human beings, and the laws that we choose to accept with our own free will. So much love to all of you. You can also find this written in the comments below and on my website, jenniferkavanagh.ca, under the Meditations tab. So if you want the written format, please go find it there. Love to you all.